Audio Jungle.
Good day, viewers. You're welcome to Bystanders at Bystanders on Flip TV, your number one super review program. Michael Agricola still remains my name. We have diverse stories here. I'll be reading some stories to you on the front pages of this journal, the Vanguard newspaper and the Daily Sun newspaper. Quickly, we have something on UK sanctioning the Nigerian officials on the NSAS saga that happened some weeks ago. Alright, the major headline: UK moves to sanction Nigerian officials. NSAS UK moves to sanction Nigerian officials. On to the next one, which is the rider. British Parliament to debate punitive actions, November 23. We have the defection of Umai, that's the Ebonyi State governor, still causing serious reactions in the society. Defection. You are on your own, says Ebonyi. You are on your own, says Ebonyi senators. That's what Ebonyi senators are saying, that Umai is on his own. Reps tell Umai, Ebonyi senators, reps tell Umai that he is on his own. Down the paper, we have commotion in Lagos as security agents, Okada riders clash again. FEC approves Finance Bill 2020. FEC approves Finance Bill 2020 on COVID-19. Federal government of Nigeria gives 35 states 67 billion naira bailout. We have South-South Assembly. Presidency apologizes to governors, stakeholders over botched meeting. The Vanguard newspaper with a major headline here. Army, CNN trade tackles over Lekki shootings. Army, CNN trade tackles over Lekki shootings. Of course, there have been investigations coming out from the CNN side concerning the shootings at Lekki. Toget, we have Brutai insisting, saying that Army will never operate outside its rule of engagement. Army used live bullets on Lekki protesters. That's what CNN is saying here. Nigerians should feel safe. Kidnappers, bandits being dealt with. That's what the Chief of Army Staff, Brutai, is saying on the front page of this journal. And the last story we'll be reading out to you viewers: storm over Umai's defection to APC. Storm over Umai's defection to APC. We won't join Umai in APC. That's what Ebonyi National Assembly caucus are saying. Yeah, PDP ceased to exist in Ebonyi today, says Umai. And these are the stories we have on the front pages of these two journals. Of course, we have our reviewers set to express their views, to analyze what we have on these journals. Let's join them. I'll be back. The Nigerian Army denied the killings of the protesters at Lekki Toget. Like I said sometimes ago, there are conflicting stories to that event that happened at Lekki Toget. CNN has been on top of this issue and has come out with solid evidence, claiming that the army really fired live bullets at the protesters. Now, don't you think this is going a long way?
Well, good morning, Mr. Mike. You see, this issue of the incident that took place at the Lekki Toget, I think the army have a responsibility to come clean on this. Because I took my time to go through their investigative journalism being conducted by CNN, where they concluded that the military actually used live bullets on protesters. They went further to mention the name of one person that have been identified to have died as a result of that shooting. Okay. And again, if you look at that report, that write-up, you see that it is an in-depth investigation. They went further to investigate and they were able to unravel that most of those bullets were bought as far back 2005. They even mention the country. What I'm trying to say is the evidence are overwhelming. I think what we hope on the Nigerian military to do now is to own up and apologize and sanction whoever may have did the wrong thing. Because if you look at it, was it a coincidence that you needed to disconnect CCTV before you started the shooting? If the military wants us to believe that blank bullet was used, that it merely make noise, it merely contain gunpowder and it doesn't kill, why did they need to disconnect the CCTV before they started the shooting? Why did it need to be done under the cover of the night? Was it a coincidence that even the billboard that had light that could illuminate the environment was switched off before the shooting started? So I think the CNN did a very good job. And looking at statement coming from the United Kingdom, we all know the power of UK when it comes to Nigeria. Being a colonial master and being a force to be reckoned with globally when it comes to the Community of Nations. We saw what played out in the election, where the UK, the US threatened to sanction Nigerian officials who will violate the electoral process. They were all whipped into line and they did the needful. So UK coming out to threaten to sanction Nigerian officials with regard to infractions with respect to what happened at that Lekki toll gate, I think it's a welcome development, because we need to start seeing such measures to put Nigerian officials on check, because they operate with impunity. Now, how can you imagine after this protest that every stakeholder globally are judged to be free, and everybody saw the need for the protest, saw the protest as a genuine one? How can you explain that after the protest, the government is hounding, gagging, arresting people who promoted the protest? One guy that was granted bail, though he had been granted bail, he have not been released because he is here to meet the bail condition, simply because he supported the protest. So how do we continue in this manner? And you look at the Nigerian army, that's why it is unfortunate. I don't know, except the government will prove me wrong. I do not believe that the government, the federal government, is sincere with resolving these issues. But how can you explain a situation where you have a military personnel, a military team that summarily killed a police team from IG squad in Taraba State, and up to today as we speak, even as the president considered a panel of inquiry that indicted the captain and 9 other military personnel, the government have not deemed me fit to bring them to book. So how do the government now convince me that we are likely going to see justice for people who have faced inhuman treatment in the hands of these disbanded SARS? I do not share that belief. The only struggle I see is, since those respective panels are still meant to compensate victims of SARS brutality, maybe that's the only area they may be getting solace.
Okay, let's move to a story we've not really been talking about, the Umai's defection to the All Progressive Congress. Sometimes I ask myself, why are these people playing this kind of politics? But he has the right to do whatever he wants. But there is a kind of chaos in that state due to his defection. Now, why the need for this defection? Why did he?
The way I look at it, you see, Nigerian politicians, they lack ideology. For me, the defection is uncalled for. Because if you look at it, I think Umahi would have learned from the likes of Akpabio, who ruled his state for 2 consecutive terms, defected to APC. And since APC was not on ground in his state, could not even win a senatorial election in his state, where he ruled for 8 years. The same scenario played out in Delta State, where Udwa, a former governor, defected from PDP to APC. Because the PDP was on ground in that state, he could not win even a senatorial election in that state. I'm not speaking for PDP. The same thing will apply to an APC candidate or personality who, having known that his area is predominantly APC, defers to PDP. He is likely going to lose his support base. If you look at what happened yesterday, the National Assembly caucus of Ebonyi State, comprised of the 3 senators and 5 House of Representative members, came up to issue a press statement and said that Umahi is on his own, that are not following him to APC. What does that tell you? It tells you that he is not likely to win any election in the near future in that state. It tells you that he is no longer on ground. It tells you that it's not even about an individual, it's about the party that is on ground. It tells you that he was only leveraging on the popularity of the party to rise to that position, that it was not even merely based on his own personal credential. It tells you that subsequent election, if he stands as a candidate, whether under APC or even if our constitution allows for individual candidacy, that he's not likely to win any election in that state going forward. And what we are looking at is, I think it is high time the National Assembly start making laws that will strengthen and deepen our democracy to the extent that if you win election from a platform and midway into your tenure you defect, there should be laws that will sanction you to lose that position. Because we are not growing in this manner. Especially somebody will wake up in PDP, in the evening he's already going to APC. I do not see him as a responsible person for doing this. That notwithstanding, he have right to of association. He have right to go to APC or any other political party for that matter. But what I'm saying is, I'm looking at a situation where perhaps he may want to renege on some tacit agreement he may have had with personalities in PDP. Because you know that those agreements may be binding on him. I'm speculating anyway, I'm not sure. Perhaps because you know that such agreement may be binding on him, he want to move to another platform where those agreements may not be binding on him. But having said that, whatever may be the reason, I don't think he's a good omen. If you look at the way he even attacking Wike, you see that he's even fighting like it's like an effort of a drowning man. Because I read what Wike said through one of his media aides, that even as he agreed that this man has every right to go to any political party, but that this man is wrong for the reason he adduced to have moved to the other political party. Because him saying that the PDP have not been fair to Southeast. I think we can try to chronicle all the positions Umahi have gotten under PDP. And on that basis, I think conclusively, Wike was right to have said that the Umahi was not fair with the position he had used, with the reason he had used to move to APC. Now, if you look at the response from Umahi, calling Wike a dictator, I don't think it is a welcome development, because Wike's reaction did not warrant such attack. And I will advise Umahi from going forward that he should look at his political career. He should look at, because for what I learned, I think he has done well as a governor.
I think he said he's going to quit the political race 2023. That's what he said.
He's talking like a Nigerian politician. I do not take him serious when I get
so
like
you're talking about his political future?
I do not take him serious. I've equally seen Wike saying that the man wants to pursue a presidential ambition. It may not be unconnected with 2023.
That he wants to pursue a presidential ambition.
Of course, it may not be unconnected with this 2023 election.
The person that said he's quitting 2023.
He's not quitting. That is the nature of Nigerian politicians. You see a lot of gimmick, ruse. That is their stock in trade. Watch what will happen in 2023. You are already seeing alignment, realignment with respect to what we expect in 2023. I'm not saying the man should not contest. I'm not saying he's not eligible to contest. But you take actions that will give you credibility. That people will look at, they will see you as a man of honor. For me, this action is ill-advised.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Matthew.
It is that this is an investigation which is not done in Nigeria, which they will just cover up. All this while, ever since the killing happened, they have been covering up for months. There's no even proper investigation except a foreign body coming to come and unravel killing in our own country again. So it's going like that we are able to see the truth coming into light, because all they're just doing is covering up. This is not the first time government agents have been killing Nigerians. But now that we have reviewed this one, there's one that BBC covered, the Shia Muslim killing in Kaduna and Abuja too. Even BBC uncovered it too. What they do is cover up. The same thing military do. They say they didn't shoot anybody. At the end of the day, they end up killing people. So it's good like that CNN is able to coming to the issue. It's good like that. It's about not being controlled by the government to cover up or to make the military look good. That's good.
Thank you so much.
Omai is the current executive governor of Ebonyi State. Omai was picked by Ebonyi State PFN chapter, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. That is how they choose governor. Each time there is that kind of governorship election in Ebonyi State. It is the PFN Ebonyi branch that chooses governor for Ebonyi State. Omai is a member of Christ Embassy. Yeah, he's a good man, and he performed virtually well in Ebonyi State. But when you talk about this defection is crazy. Somebody is doing crazy thing. Somebody behind him or somebody around him or somebody with him is crazy too. But as you can see, the constituencies, the reps, 3, I think, Ebonyi State, they have 3 constituencies. 5 constituencies, they are not with him. Because Omai is doing crazy thing. Buhari said, I love him, I'm proud of Omai. We are not surprised. Buhari is not somebody that stands on the positivism. He's a negative person. He always supports the oddity. O-double-D-I-T-Y. When something goes wrong, he will stand on that wrong side. That is Buhari, Nigerian president. You are being proud of Ebonyi State governor because he's trying to mess that zone with his selfish ambition of defecting from PDP, accusing PDP of injustice to Southeast. Who is doing? When did PDP become an injustice party? It's a question that is left for Mahi to answer, but I want to answer. Obi actually contested for presidential flag bearer under Atiku.
Yes. As a vice president.
Thank you. As a vice president, Obi was the former governor, my governor from Anambra State. Obi. So when did PDP begin to be unfair or unjust to the Southeast geopolitical zone? When? Is that an injustice? Ekweremadu was there as a Senate president, deputy to Saraki for how many years? Does that depict injustice? It doesn't, transcend injustice. Because Ekweremadu, is from Enugu State, that's former Anambra State. PDP is not being unfair for making Ekweremadu the second man to Saraki. Are you listening to me? So we have many governors in the Southeast that are doing well under PDP, even South. Our brother, yes, Ken Namani was made Senate president during Obasanjo till Jonathan. Is that? Yeah, he was there during the Ghana must go issue, and they stopped Obasanjo. He said, "This year Ghana must go. We will not accept it. We don't want third-term agenda. We must floor you." And they floored Obasanjo. That is PDP. PDP has never been unjust to the people of southeastern Nigeria. So I don't know where that kind of fictitious, belief emerges from Ebonyi State under the control of Omai. I'm telling you, sometimes Mr. President, retired General Muhammadu Buhari amazes me. That's why I can never be a Buhari fan or fanatics, just because he's that kind of, let me say, extremist, religious extremist. He is trying to show us that he's no nonsense person. He doesn't look at women. He doesn't look at bribery. He's not clannish or tribalistic. While he is the worst ever tribalistic president Nigeria has ever had. I tell you, Mike, I need to cheat my sword here. Anyway, I would like to pause here until when we meet again. Thank you.
CNN did their own private investigation, and according to I saw the video. I watched every clip of it. No, they said that the bullets that was being shot at the protesters was being manufactured, I think in Serbia. They even gave us the proof, and then every clip attached to it shows that what they was doing, that the protesters were being shot. Protesters were being shot. So now it is so glaring. Even so now the government cannot debunk it. They gave government 7 days for them to refute the claim that no, if you think that this information that we have gathered,
It's not real.
as a media house,
Right?
it's not genuine. Come out, you guys should come out and then counter it or debunk it. 7 days, and we are watching. If the government would come out and debunk it, it should not be always on. It should not always be every time on just media. That I said that media are lying. Media are not lying now. Let the government, let them come out and debunk it. If they think that all what has been said was being what allegation. Nigerian army has not said anything. No. Let them debunk it. If the arm that was fired was not produced in Serbia, according to research done by CNN, they said from 2015 till date, Nigerian army gets all their ammunition from Serbia. We saw it. I have the video on my phone. So let them come out and debunk it. That was what CNN said yesterday. If you think all the evidence we've all claimed or that we what said it is true, if you think it is not true, come up with your own evidence and debunk it.
And I think, David, at this junction, the military personnel that were involved in these killings need to be sanctioned. Don't you think so?
They need to be sanctioned according to the law. But see, by mere going, but sir, by mere looking at it, do you think there will be sanction? Those power blocks that would authorize them to go kill innocent protesters, do you think there will be sanction? There will be shield. It is time now. They should have even be brought to book. In the same country, they should have been brought to book and behind bars. But I think there are some power blocks that will not allow that to happen.
Now, quickly to Ebonyi State, what's your take on the politics playing out in that state? Umahi's defection is causing a lot of confusion there.
Mr. Mike Adekule, like I said, Umahi said PDP has not been fair to the southeast region. Now, my take on this is that he said PDP has not been fair to the southeast. He rose. He was the state chairman PDP in that state. He rose there. He became the deputy governor in that state. Now, later on, he became the governor of the state. Now, PDP now, under PDP administration, PDP gave secretary to the state government, Ayin Payozayi, which is from Ebonyi State, was the secretary to the state government. Senator Ken Inamani was Senate president under PDP, and then Senator Okadigbo. I think the war Obasanjo administration, there were like 3 persons who were Senate president from the Igbo region, and now he's saying PDP were not fair to the Igbo. I think on this aspect he should speak. He is going just because of his own personal interest. He should not tell PDP has not been fair, because every Nigerians have this record. We are not fools. Why would you say that PDP has not been fair and he produced Senate president for 3 consecutive times and he produced secretary of state government, which is from your state, Ebonyi State, Senator Impayozayi. So I think if SPC on this note are trying to lobby him for him to get to get the ticket of the president, is a welcome development to him. But I think he should not say that PDP has never been fair to the Eastern region. That was why he had to defect. That is, to me, that was baseless. Because if people have given you a ground for you to tread, and then you are saying that the so-called party have not been fair, why I challenge him? He should have defect before the election and see if he loses the seat. If he, Umahi, has defended before 2019 election, Mr. Mike Akule, I can bet you with everything, he will not win that seat. So now, as of yesterday, all the senators and then House of Rep members in the state said that fine, our governor has what the camp, but we are still in PDP. He doesn't have structure. Even I think even the what's called House of Assembly members did not defect with him. So see, whatever he is doing because of his own selfish reasons and his own interest. Now coming, I read what Wike said. Wike said that Wike happens to be what, a dictator in the party. Where was he in 2015 when PDP was in crisis? It was Wike and the ex-governor of Ekiti State, that single-handedly funded PDP. They had to say, okay, PDP would not die. Now, where was he? He is saying that someone is a dictator. Wike, everybody knows that. See, Wike on time has always been championing the cause of the PDP. So now, he should not call Wike a dictator. Wike single-handedly gave him tickets. Wike gave him this ticket for him to compare, for him to contest. So now he's not saying that Wike that gave you tickets just to contest. Now he's now what, a dictator. Now I can bet him politically he's gone.
I don't think this will affect him.
Huh?
Those think this will affect him, both in the states.
It has already affected him now. If your House of Assembly member refuse to be camp with it, it shows you are not on ground. You don't have structure. Who is the man? Go to just see. You can conduct survey. Ask every Nigeria who is the man. Most person don't know that come see. There's a man named Umuayi who is the governor of Ebonyi State.
All right, thank you so much, David. Very good one from you. And here we say goodbye to you on today's edition of Bystanders. Join us next time on the same channel. Michael Adekule still remains my name. Behind the camera, I have Festus Oluwabukome. You can subscribe to our sister channel, 50 Plus. You can join me on Facebook, Michael Temitayo Adekule. Till I join you next time on the same platform. Keep having a good day. Keep safe.